This is Moray of Yasharal with part 2, comment section demons. You know, these demons are everywhere. They're all on the internet. You see, the internet today is the battlefield. It's the place of the harvest. The demons are there right alongside of us, trying to thwart this great movement of the children of Yasharal awakening from the grave. Well, I use them as a teaching tool to show you what not to do on the internet. You do not go to someone else's platform and teach against them. If you do, you have become a Smith. What's a Smith? You ever seen The Matrix? Agent Smith? He can inhabit anyone at any time, take control of their body and their mind, and use them against any opponent that he chooses. Let me show you the first Smith. Yakub 635. There's the video. Let's see what he has to say. Next year, on March 20, 2026, the sun and the moon will be in the original starting position right on the equinox. So how do you know the path of years started in 2018? If you would have listened to the video, you would know. You are following the Muslim calendar, where they also don't add a 13th month, and their festivals scale back throughout all the seasons in 32 years. You see, brothers and sisters, this spirit, he knows. But he's calling it a Muslim calendar. There's no Muslim calendar. There is no Islamic calendar. If you want to call it anything, you will call it the Shemitic calendar. The moon was given to Shem, and they were told to follow the moon throughout all of the seasons. Now let's go back to the top. This is important. Next year on March 20, 2026, the sun and the moon will be in the original starting position, right on the equinox. Let's go take a look at that. Here's the illustration. March 18, 2018. Look at the 18th circle. Sunrise. The celestial event. The 32-year meetup, where the sun and the moon return to its original starting position, exactly like in creation. The sun would have 354 days here, and the moon would have 354 days. When you come to 2019, you'll see that the 6-day overplus was added, plus the 4 intercalary days, and the moon moved away from the sun in the amount of 10 days. Absolute perfection. Do you see the 17th that is underlined? That is the 364th day of the prior year, where the Alayam, who are the leaders and the heads of the thousands, who are over all the creation and over all the stars, they placed their intercalary day right there. Once they place the intercalary day there, it becomes equal day and equal night. Go to the right. There's their equinox on the 20th. The equinox is supposed to equal sunrise. It doesn't. I'll show you that soon. We're going to do our count here, see how many days is on their calendar in all reality. We know that the 17th represents the 364th day of the prior year. is count how many days to the 20th. 17 is 364. 18, 365. Hold it, hold it. Am I making anything up? What do they tell you that the solar year has on Pope Gregory's calendar? 365 days in a quarter. So the 18th would be 365. The 19th would be the quarter, right? But it's not a quarter because they don't start their day to the 20th. So it's actually 366 days on the 19th. How many days does the Book of Anuak say? 364. They got 366 days here. On the 19th, according to this fictitious time that Yaqub has introduced to us, would be their intercalary day, which would make the 20th equal day and equal night. Remember what the definition said. Almost equal day. Almost equal night. Okay. So far we have 366 days before their equinox. Let me show you something. Identify 2026 on this chart. Next to it, you'll see the day, 20. Next to that, you'll see circle the time, 1446. March 20th, 2026, time, 1446. What does 1446 mean? It's military time. Look up top. 2:46 p.m. Let me ask you a question. Isn't sunrise in the morning? When the sun comes up in the east, comes over the horizon, and you can see it shining brightly on the earth? When did sunrise begin at 2:46 p.m. in the afternoon? It doesn't. This is something different. The equinox starts at 2:46 p.m. in the evening. What are they calculating? They're waiting for the sun to come down to the equator. It takes about 2 days. And then they say equinox. You see, when the sun comes down to the equator, now it's equally distributed on the earth, and you have equal light on the North Pole and equal light on the South Pole. Do you understand what I just showed you? How many days do they have on their calendar? 366 and 9 hours. Well, Yaqub, now we know that you're a smith. You see, the children of Yasharal, most of them don't have the ability to break this thing down. But I am here now. I am their champion. Every time a demon shows his head, we're going to play whack-a-mole. So Yaqub, 635, he is a smith. He was inhabited by a demon. Did you know that Satan is an imitator? Yaqub, 635, came to imitate Yah's celestial event, which happened in 2018. He tried to imitate it 8 years later on an equinox, which is not rooted in time at all, or exist any place in any text. Let's see what else he has to say. You need to read the works of Philo. Why do they always try to tell us what to do? We don't go to them trying to tell them what to read. Philo is Israelite historian during the time of the Messiah. He too reveals the Sabbath count starting from the new moon, but he also explains how Moses uses the vernal equinox as the starting point every year to mark the first new moon of the year every year. Philo? We read Torah, the prophets, and the sacred text. Why would we use Philo? When we go to Torah, there is no vernal equinox. There is no Shamash, that means sun. The only thing you're going to see when Masha tells you time for the feast is Hadash. Every time you see month, go to the blue letter Bible and see what the word is. You'll see it Hadash, a moon phase, 1/2 of a seventh part, which equals 1/14th part of light, a crescent moon. So everything he's telling you here about Masha using a vernal equinox does not exist either. Everything they say doesn't exist in the book. All you have to do is check, try, and prove all things like I'm showing you right now. Josephus explains the same thing in his writings. Your understanding of the book of Enoch is off, Brother David. You didn't show any place where my understanding is off. All you showed was an alternative view. And it's wanting. 366 days and 9 hours, and you want us to go back to an equinox in order to find Yah's days on a fictitious calendar created by the Gentiles? You have your people celebrating Passover in the dead of winter. January, which is ridiculous, brother. I'm not your brother. Who is my brothers? Only those who do the will of my Father. Okay, so he's given us another opportunity. They've been saying this for years. Your feasts are going to be all the way back in the winter months. Okay. Show us any place in the text where the Father told you to adjust the calendar at a 13th month if the barley harvest is not ripe, or if the moon moves away from the sun in the amount of 30 days. We've waited 7 years. No one yet. Show me any place in the book where it tells you to follow a first new moon after an equinox. We found that not to be in the book either. Some of the Rock Ibar's people came and were struck down with the sword. They were made to look ignorant because people can't read. Also, show any place in the text where he says to begin your year for the feast at Shamash, meaning a solar calendar. He told you only to follow Hadash. All you have to do is look, and you'll see everything that I'm saying is true. Well, Yaqub, you came here to try to teach my people, teaching on top of me. Well, let's see what you've done on your channel. What does it say on the bottom? This channel doesn't have any content. He's had it since 2021. He has 2 subscribers. Yet, you want to come and teach me? Brothers and sisters, I told you before, do not believe me for my word's sake. Believe me for my work's sake. I have countless videos on the lunar event and the solar event and time. But here, he's coming with his so-called superior knowledge, and he's not teaching anything. Let's move on to the next one. 2020 Viz Zion. Let's see what she has to say. Yes, Equal day and equal night is the equilux. Equilux? That's equal light. Yes, it's spoken in 1 Enoch 72 twice. The night, the day, and night are both 9 parts. She's answering the assignment. I gave an assignment to the children of Yasharal. She has eyes to see, but can't see, ears to hear, but can't hear. What was the assignment? See if you can find the word equinox in Enoch 72. Then afterwards I showed the explanation of what an equinox is. They have to wait till the sun comes to the celestial equator, then they say equinox. I said, see if you can find the celestial equator in the book also. And she said, yes, it's there. Okay, let's continue to read. Always a few days after the autumnal equinox. A few days after? Well, basically, they have to wait 2 days from the actual sunrise before they can say equinox. Is that in the book of Enoch? And later, another day and night, both 9 parts, when the year becomes 364, always a few days before the vernal equinox. What is she saying? The same thing I just told you before. The equinox is 2 days after the celestial event, which is called sunrise. Okay, we're going to go to the book of Enoch. We're going to look for equilux. We're going to look for autumnal equilux. We're going to look for vernal equinox. We're going to look for the celestial equator. Look to the left. There's the passage right there. Enoch 72. Come on, read with me. And on that day, the sun rises. Where's equinox or equilux? Remember, equinox and equilux happens 2 days later. We want to see if we can find it here. From that portal, and sets in the west, and returns to the east, and rises, sunrise again, in the third portal for 1 and 30 mornings. That's the 364th day of the prior year, where the Alayam placed an intercalary day there. You see 1 and 30 mornings? That's 31 days. Every time you see a 31-day month in the book of Enoch, it speaks of an intercalary day that is added by the leaders and the heads of the thousands. And sets in the west. Okay, we've made it through the first verse. Have you seen anything yet? No. 32. And on that day, not 2 days later, the night decreases and amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts, and the night is equal to the day, and the year is exactly as its days, 364. How many days did Yaqub have on his calendar? 366 and 9 hours. Same as you, 2020, Viz Zion. You failed the assignment altogether because you don't have hearing comprehension. Now you've given me the opportunity to show the children of Yasharal that you're a liar. Viz Zion and Yaqub, both of you are liars. You're nothing but demons. You came here to try to make the children of Yasharal unclean again. Let's see what else she has to say. Are you saying people shouldn't be referencing the equinox, but instead the equilux? You see that? She just proved that she has ears to hear, but hear not. I said they don't even exist in Scripture, and we just proved it. Is that your main point of this particular video, brother? I am not your brother. Who is my brother? Who is my sister? Only those who do the will of my Father. Blessings. I also have something on the equinoxes to share. We don't want to share anything about an equinox. That's kindergarten for us. We've gone far beyond that. We came out of the matrix, and you're trying to draw us back in. Why don't you go share it with your congregation? Oh, what is happening here? These people have come to teach me, and yet they have no work. 2020 Viz Zion, why don't you share your equinoxes on your channel? Why do you want to come and share it with the children of Yasharal? Well, she has 7 subscribers. One of them is me. I subscribed because I want to see if she's going to share some equinoxes, make a video, and put some work out. You see, they only want to come amongst us, mingle with us, and then try to slide in their leaven so they can draw you back into the matrix. You know? This is their assignment. And my assignment is to cut them down with the sword every time they show their heads. Well, continue to part 3. It'll be coming soon. Shalom.